Well, that's where you live. Punk is flat.
No way! That's crazy!
We landed on the moon!
The earth is flat, the moon landing is fake. Lizard people rule us, for goodness sake. Chemtrails in the sky, they're controlling our minds. This ringtone's the truth that everyone finds. It's the conspiracy theorist hotline, uncovering secrets all the time. If you hear this tone, and the truth will be told about aliens, Bigfoot, and conspiracies all.
On the surface, Freemasonry might look like an ordinary organization that conducts the usual formal business and organizes social and charitable events. But at the heart of Freemasonry, we find traces of their satanic Babylonian heritage. At the core of all secret societies, you will find the same ancient Babylonian teachings. They all believe in the same philosophy and practice the same rituals. The symbolism used by these secret societies gives away their real origins and their real intentions. If we compare the occult symbolism with the music industry, we clearly see who's pulling the strings behind the scenes. Most of the time, the artists have absolutely no idea what they are promoting or what any of the symbols in their videos mean. They just do as they are told and wait for their check to arrive in the bank. They have sold their morals and values for a miserly price.
Something that I want everybody who can hear this interview to know. As much as I'm supposed to be promoting this movie and talking about my album, I just feel like we're in competition right now because they are trying to normalize the devil. They are trying to populate. The devil is on the main stage at award shows and in every video and signs and symbols. And I said, you know what? We need to stop treating our relationship with Jesus like the little buddy that you talk to before you go to bed at night and not be more vocal about all the things that God means to us and all of the things that God has brought us through. Because there's been a lot of moments that you didn't post about. But yet you know, how did God decide to get me through this?
Yeah, man.
And yeah, they going above and beyond to promote the devil. And it's pissing me off because they used to devil worshippers used to be real secretive, going down in the basement, this secret world. Now they just
they on the device too.
The Knights Templar knew about the lost city of Atlantis. In the heart of Jerusalem, the Templars sought not just relics, but remnants of an advanced civilization, artifacts from Atlantis. The Ark of the Covenant, the Spear of Destiny, the Holy Grail, and the elusive Emerald Tablet were among their sought treasures, believed to hold unimaginable powers like levitation, long-distance communication, and control over weather. The Templars unraveled a tale spanning millennia, connecting these artifacts to a global civilization with pyramids,
Sounds like they found all that stuff to me.
arcs, and the ability to harness limitless energy. Yet, their quest led them further into the annals of history, uncovering a non-human race, the Anunnaki, who allegedly enslaved humanity for gold.
Fallen angels.
As the Templars pieced together this cosmic puzzle, they discovered common threads in various cultures, all pointing to a potent force known as mana, the key to flying crafts and energy. Templar lore weaves a narrative where survivors of the Great Flood kick-started civilization with Atlantean knowledge, and the Templar cross became a symbol intertwined with Atlantis. However, the Knights Templar were not just warriors, they were keepers of alternative beliefs. Behind their public facade as devout Catholics, they embraced Christian Gnosticism and esoteric wisdom, challenging the doctrines of the Catholic Church. John the Baptist became their idol, and concepts like reincarnation, the divine feminine, and a unique connection to the Creator permeated their secret teachings. Intriguingly, the Templars, in their quest for knowledge, birthed the world's first banking system and a multinational corporation during the Dark Ages. Their rise to power became their downfall in 1307, when King Philip IV of France, with the collusion of Pope Clement V, disbanded the order. Yet, the Templars, far from obliteration, went underground, forming smaller groups and adopting aliases to preserve their wisdom. Today, the Templar legacy echoes globally, from Nova Scotia's Oak Island to indigenous tribes in Panama, believed to be descendants of Templars in the Americas. Symbols like the Jolly Roger, the Red Cross on a white background, and depictions of knights on horseback still linger, connecting the dots to their hidden past. Roslin Chapel in Scotland, adorned with Templar and pagan symbols, adds another layer to the mystery. Sculptures of angels in unconventional poses, Gnostic and pagan imagery, and the green man linked to ancient Celtic paganism raise more questions than answers. The Templar influence extends to the New World, with legends suggesting Sir Henry Sinclair, tied to Roslin Chapel, may have been one of the first Europeans to set foot in America. Christopher Columbus, allegedly armed with Templar knowledge and maps, followed in his footsteps. Evidence of Templar presence in the Americas surfaces through artifacts like the Kensington runestone and the Narragansett runestone, suggesting Viking, potentially Templar, travelers in unexplored lands. Gnostic symbolism, characterized by the number 8, intertwines with Templar mysteries. The Newport Tower, with its 8 columns symbolizing completeness, stands as a testament to their influence. Freemasonry, tracing its roots back to the Temple of Solomon like the Templars, further connects the dots.
Now, the final thing I have to share about this, and then we're going to be closing for the break, is the meaning of this. And this is a very mysterious symbol, which, you've heard all sorts of explanations for it, but I'm going to give you the Masonic Illuminati inner meaning of what this means tonight. And it's going to probably gross you out and astonish you, and I apologize in advance for that. But this is what it means. Crowley reveals the secret behind the all-seeing eye symbol in one of his books, the Book of Thoth, which is a very advanced manual on tarot card readings. And this is the eye of Lucifer. But believe it or not, it corresponds to a human organ that, for lack of a more delicate term, we'll call the rectum, which is kind of ironic when you think about it, that this represents Lucifer. And what this refers to is that the occult archaeometric doctrine of Masonry is that by accessing alternate universes through sodomy, especially of young boys, you can access alternate dimensions of reality through what are called the tunnels of Typhon. There is a belief that through this sexual perversion, they can access these tunnels into alternate universes, alternate realities. And the goal of this kind of magic is to find your own universe and become the god over that universe. This buys into the modern day physics theory that there's many, many dimensions of reality. Maybe you've read about that. Alternate universes. It shows up in science fiction a lot. And then once you're the god of this universe, you can start sucking the energy out of it. And you can use that energy through this child to live forever and ever and ever. And there are men, I have met several that claim to be hundreds of years old. Now, of course, are they lying their lips off? I frankly think they are. This is a deception. I mean, this is such a problem that we are actually, I now know of 5 national support groups that are helping people that are survivors of Masonic ritual abuse. This is that serious a problem. And let me tell you something else. The other 95, 96, 97 Masons have an even bigger problem, because the spiritual headship over their organization trickles back down to this monster. And because of that, even if they're good men, even if they don't know about this, you know what happens? They begin to struggle with profound temptations to move in this area of pedophilia and homosexuality. And this is dangerous stuff. I mean, this is spreading throughout the world like a plague. We have organizations like NAMBLA, the National Association of Man-Boy Love, which their slogan is sex before 8 or it's too late. And they're trying to lower the age of consent to 8 years old. And all of this can be laid at the door of this occult monstrosity. If you're a Mason and you're in an organization with this kind of spiritual headship, this is all around you and you don't even know it. It's like a fish swimming in polluted water that's full of spiritual sewage. And you can't help but take this into yourself. But it's important to understand that in all of this, that I myself, as a normal, red-blooded heterosexual, was finding myself continually drawn into sexual thoughts and sexual fantasies about little boys. I thank God I never acted on any of that. But it was being forced on me because I was under the umbrella of the Masonic leadership.
Well, this definitely explains a lot about the music industry in Hollywood.
CIA, which was called the OSS in the Second World War. CIA originally, the OSS was originally founded by men who were members of an order called the Knights of Malta. It is a Roman secret society of powerful Freemasons who have operated in Europe for many, many hundreds of years. The Knights of Malta, along with the kindred orders like the Knights Templars, who were the international bankers in Switzerland. This is why Switzerland's never in any war, because this is where the Templars call home. This is international banking. You don't mess with the boss lives. So I think that there's something going on here very big.
Do you have any idea what that is?
Yes, I certainly do. I haven't spent 40 years with the subject not to know.
The sword is part of the regalia of a member of Knights Templar in York Rite Freemasonry. In one sense, the sword represents the Word of God. In others, the dual concept of life and death. For men in the fraternity, the blade reflects honor, justice, history, and tradition.
Our banks were given to us by the Knights Templars, the Masonic Lodge of Knights Templars in Europe. Our educational institutions, universities, and colleges were given to us by the Masonic Order coming out of Rome. This is why the square martyr board is a Catholic symbol. So many people willingly bend themselves to what their masters want from them. What your masters want is for you to be in compliance, for you to think what they have told you to think.
Have you ever wondered why the Freemasons and Knights Templar use this symbol? It's because it's a symbol of your soul, and you have no clue how much they've hidden from you. You don't have one physical body. They want you to believe you just have a physical body. You have four: mind, emotion, spirit, and body. The mind is the intellect, thought, and visualization. Emotion is basically a guidance system which gives you intuition and guidance in this life. The spirit is your energy, your vibration. Your physical body is in order to take action in this physical dimension. Now, they correspond with the four elements. Air is the mind, water, emotion, fire, the spirit, earth is the physical body. So in order to live a good life and in order to manifest anything you want, all four of these corners of reality, all four bodies of consciousness must be balanced and aimed towards your goal. Your body must be taking action upon it. Your emotions must feel the desired reality as if it's already there, as if you already have it. Your spirit must be giving the passion towards it. And your mind must be thinking about it and believing you have the reality. These are the four corners to create reality. This is why the Freemasons and Knight Templars use this symbol, because your soul is split up into four different sections: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, which is why Yahweh is 4. This is why the symbol for earth, or the symbol for sun, is a circle and a cross for the four bodies: the mind, emotion, spirit, body, incarnated into matter, soul and matter. So they've hid a lot from you, people. So if you want to live a good life, make sure they're balanced and make sure they're aimed towards your goal.
I know a way that you can say it with just your hand. Like this. This stands for I. This stands for love. And this stands for you. Put them all together. Go like that. I want to show you something.
promise last, I do anything I want. You can't see me, but I can see you.
Yeah, look at those black eyes. Look at this demon. That's disgusting.
The Knights Templar and the Freemasons, two secretive orders separated by centuries. But is there a hidden connection? The Templars were a powerful medieval order of warrior monks, but in 1307, their wealth and influence led to their downfall. King Philip IV of France arrested them on Friday the 13th, and the order was disbanded. Some Templars were executed, but others escaped. And here's where the mystery begins. Did they go underground? Did their secrets survive? Centuries later, the Freemasons emerge in the 1700s, a fraternal organization with mysterious rituals, symbols, and an emphasis on brotherhood. Look closer at the Freemason similarities to the Templars. Both orders value secrecy, a higher power, and sacred geometry. Symbols and rituals bear uncanny similarities to the Templars. Coincidence? Maybe not. Some believe that surviving Templars fled to Scotland and merged with local stonemason guilds, passing down their knowledge and symbols. Rosslyn Chapel, famous for its intricate carvings, is said to hold proof of this connection. Look closely: Templar crosses, Masonic symbols, and even hidden codes. So, are the Freemasons the modern heirs of the Templars? Or is it just a myth woven into history? What do you think? Like and follow for more secret history and ancient.
I think they're the same.
So there's canal systems and tunnels all underneath these buildings. This right here leads down underneath. Hey, you look down there, that's an old tunnel canal system. Right on this sign. This is a whole canal system that runs underneath this building. Right? It was funded, got financial backing from Stephen Van Rensselaer. He was the 33-degree Grandmaster of New York State. You can see right here, it has the old Templar fort right on the waterfront. And this whole city had water running through it. All these structures were powered by water turbines. The whole building was ran off of water turbines. My great-great-grandfather retired from General Electric, the turbine division. Right? He was the Grand Master of Albany. I have his mill kit with the tools that he used to work on these turbines. His name is stamped in historical documents in New York State. Gowd, the New York State Republican representative at the time, fully suited when he turned his command over. Okay, I'm his great-great-grandson.
This is all powered by the water right here. This is going to be a Templar structure right on the water. Okay, my grandfather was a Knight Mason. He worked on these turbines. Right here, you could see that it won an award for some kind.
This is upstate New York, Troy, New York, right next to Albany. And he's showing you how Freemasons, Knight Templars built these cities. Pay attention.
What's it say right here? Heritage Award of Excellence.
There would be turbines underneath these buildings. When the water came through, they took them out. That's why it's not on here. I can show you the picture from the Library of Congress. The water would come in the buildings and spin the turbines with perpetual motion. They told you it was a myth. We had free energy through these power canal systems, right? Power canal. This is what powered these buildings. And it would spin. Each floor of the building would have a spindle with a reel, a belt system, and the whole entire mill. This was all water right here running off of perpetual motion. So just look how far this dips off right here, okay? These are lofts where people stay underneath. The basement's underneath that with 800 horsepower turbine water engines, perpetual motion that they said was a myth. Just look at the top of this. This is right on the Erie Canal. This is a Templar fort that got converted into a mill. This is the biggest mill in the world when it was built. Again, walking down, these both got bricked in. They added this concrete platform. Those are all concrete pillars. They casted and poured just like on 787, all your highways. Right? Look at the cob job. I told you my family poured every single pillar in 787, Albany, New York for local 190. So this is what I mean when I say the arches used to be wide open and you'd be able to walk right through it. You drive your cars through this right here. They turn that into a loading dock. Those are the windows they blacktopped up to, right? These windows go down. It's all dug out. And this one got converted into a door. right? These are 3 Masonic arches that used to be wide open. Water used to flow into this building, and it was all powered off of turbines.
What's up, everybody? You guys want to learn something cool about the Knights Templar and the Freemasons? Well, I've got about 2 minutes and 50 seconds, so let's get into it. Don't swipe. Anyway, so back in the 13th century or the 1200s, the Knights Templar were trying to reclaim the Holy Land, right? Through their crusades and whatnot, they were trying to get Jerusalem back, which is modern day Israel, which they are still fighting over. It's just not the Knights Templar anymore. Strange. Anyways, so the Knights Templar were going through their crusades, basically just raping and pillaging and stealing all the gold and everything from all these people, and they became insanely wealthy. And what I mean by insanely wealthy is they were so rich after the crusades and everything that they weren't just loaning money to peasants or lords, they were loaning money to kings. One of these kings that they loaned an absurd amount of money to was the King of France at the time, who was Philip IV, King Philip IV of France. Well, King Philip IV of France found out that the Knights Templar were playing all sides. They were loaning gold to his rivals, right? His enemies. And basically, they were trying to divide and conquer and start wars between all of these different kings and reap all the benefits. Well, King Philip was in fact the king at the time, and he decided he didn't like being stabbed in his kingly back. So what did he do? He had his army track down and basically slaughter any Knights Templar they came across. They hunted the Knights Templar to almost extermination. They even captured the leader at the time of the Knights Templar, Jacques de Molay, and burned him at the stake in 1305. But the Knights Templar, they were on the ropes. They were bobbing and weaving, but they needed a way out, and they found a way out. The King of Scotland at the time, who was that guy, you might have heard of him. He was in Braveheart. Oh, what's his name? Robert the Bruce. He offered the Knights Templar amnesty in Scotland if they helped him defeat the English and win their independence. And the Knights Templar, needing a place to go, they agreed and easily defeated the English with the help of the Scots. And they decided to stay there for, I don't know, until the late 16th century or the end of the 1500s. And they reemerged as, drumroll please, the Freemasons. Cool story, look it up, it's true, awesome stuff.
1933, 33rd degree Freemason Franklin D. Roosevelt added the Great Seal to the US dollar, transforming it into an occult talisman. The same year, he signed a gold confiscation order and took the US off the gold standard. At a press conference on March 8, 1933, he joked, "As long as nobody asks me whether we are off the gold standard, that's all right, because nobody knows what the gold standard really is." David Icke wrote, "The 33rd degree Freemason and black nobility president, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, had this symbol printed on the dollar bill from 1933. It was a symbol of secret societies in Europe long before anyone heard of the United States, and it is awash with Freemasonic and secret society symbolism going back to the ancient world. Notice the symbology and numerology used on the dollar bill. The most obvious symbol is the Illuminati pyramid with the hovering, all-seeing eye in the capstone. Opposite this is the All-American Eagle with a downturned U.S. flag affront its chest. These and many other symbols on the dollar come from the ancient stellar, solar, and lunar cults." Michael Tessarian wrote, "The pyramid is for the stellar cult, as are the various stars that appear on the bill. The golden eagle is for the solar cult. The eagle is the symbol of America because it signifies the constellation in Scorpio called Achaea. Scorpio is the sign of power, money, and wealth, as well as secret knowledge. The U.S. elections are held right in the middle of Scorpio, and the birthday of America is in the Scorpionic decade of Cancer. The double-headed eagle symbol, which came from Babylon and survived through the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, has been today adopted by America, Mexico, Israel, Germany, France, Chile, Italy, Honduras, and many others." David Icke wrote, "The eagle is a widely used brotherhood symbol, and it can be found on the coats of arms of many countries, including Egypt, Libya, and Iraq. It was a major symbol for Germany and it appears in the designs of pulpits and lecterns used by the Christian Church. Seals like the one used on the Great Seal of the United States can be traced back to at least 4000 BC in Egypt, Babylon, Assyria, and India. The word money comes from the lunar cults. Early words for the moon were mon and min, giving us mani, printed at a mint. We have a worldwide monarchy that controls the world's money supply. We have finance ministers, prime ministers, and their ministries being controlled by occult elites and societies. It is interesting to note that the plant mint is green. Our money, printed at the mint, is green, and the Isis moon goddess Statue of Liberty is also green. Jordan Maxwell wrote, "You will see beneath the pyramid 1776 spelled out in Roman numerals, plus the words Annuit Coeptis, and is translated as Annuit, our enterprise. Coeptis is translated to mean crowned with success, or is crowned with success. Therefore, Annuit Coeptis is our enterprise, which is now a success." Then, in order to find out what enterprise was a success, read on the $1 bill at the bottom of the pyramid, Novos Ordo Seclorum, which translates as the new order of the world, the new world order. The Latin translation of Annuit Coeptis Novos Ordo Seclorum is our new world order is crowned with success. The other Latin phrase, e pluribus unum, means one out of many, order out of chaos. The Hegelian dialectic, the problem-reaction-solution paradigm used by the elites to drive world events, opinions, and policies. There are 13 letters in Annuit Coeptis, and 13 letters in e pluribus unum. The dollar encodes the number 13 repeatedly. There are 13 stars above the eagle's head, 13 steps on the pyramid, 13 vertical bars on the shield, 13 horizontal stripes at the top of the shield, 13 leaves on the olive branch, 13 arrows, 13 fruits, and 13 numbers. If you draw a 6-sided Star of David hexagram around the pyramid on the back of the dollar, 5 of the 6 corners will point to letters ASMON, or when you rearrange them, MASON. Jordan Maxwell wrote, "You will find on the dollar bill the eagle, which comes from the ancient concept of the phoenix and has 13 stars above it. The 13 stars are arranged in the configuration of the Star of David, or the hexagram. Most people think the 13 stars represent the original 13 colonies. In the first place, why did they have to have 13 colonies? Why couldn't they have 27, or 4, or 10? When one understands that the number 13 is a very important, profound Masonic number, and that many of the founding fathers of this country were Freemasons, as well as Rosicrucians, then you will follow this connecting thread of material to see what was actually being created. They knew what they were doing when they divided this country into 13 colonies. The number 13 is not an unlucky number for them. It's an unlucky number for you."
To understand Freemasonry, you first have to understand the men who build it. This is Presidential Freemasons Squared, George Washington, Part 2. George Washington was born on February 22nd, 1732 in Virginia, and was raised in a world of opportunity and responsibility. With his father, Augustine Washington, and his mother, Mary Ball Washington, George experienced the values of discipline, hard work, and family unity. Tragedy struck when George was just 11 years old, and his father passed away, leaving him with a void that needed to be filled. George's half-brother, Lawrence Washington, would step into that role. He provided George with basic education, reading, writing, and mathematics. By the age of 16, George would become a skilled surveyor. And at the age of 20, Lawrence would introduce George Washington to the mysterious worlds of Freemasonry, where brotherhood, morality, and personal growth were cherished. His appointment as a major in Virginia's militia would allow him to meet other influential Freemasons across the continent. And it is in the company of men like Benjamin Franklin that George's destiny took a profound turn. United by a shared vision of liberty and independence, George Washington and Benjamin Franklin collaborated on shaping the foundations of a new nation. And Washington's journey as a Freemason and his connection to influential figures like Franklin were woven into the very fabric of his being. What would the nation look like today if it weren't for Lawrence Washington taking in an orphan and a widow and guiding George Washington to be a morally upright man? Or an influential figure like Benjamin Franklin mentoring George Washington, seeing the sense of duty and determination that George Washington had, and equipping him with the tools that he needed to complete his missions. What roles would Freemasonry continue to play in George Washington's life, as he would help forge the very foundation of this nation? So mote it be.
So Joe Biden became a Freemason just one day before leaving office. At a private ceremony, Biden was made a Master Mason of Prince Hall Grand Lodge in South Carolina. He was recognized for his outstanding service to the United States of America. Weird.
How many presidents have been Freemasons?
14.
14 out of our 46 presidents have been Freemasons. That's a third. So Freemasonry in the formation of our country was kind of parallel. They went hand in hand. A lot of our initial signers of the Declaration of Independence, a third of our presidents have been Freemasons. The ideals of democracy and treating each other as equals and everybody having a right to life, liberty, and freedom are very Masonic, very American principles.
Ever wondered about the U.S. presidents who were Freemasons and their influence on the nation? From George Washington to James Monroe, 14 presidents held this affiliation. What lies behind this fraternity? Did it influence these men to power's pinnacle? Did their Masonic backgrounds shape their terms? The intrigue is as intriguing as it is multifaceted. The path to truth often uncovers secrets. Here, not just the answer, but the journey holds wisdom. Are you ready to explore the legacy of Freemason presidents? Excellent. Uncover these historical intricacies.
5 most secretive societies in the USA. Number 5, Opus Dei. Founded in 1928, Opus Dei is a Catholic institution with a mission to integrate faith into everyday life. Known for its conservative values, the organization operates in secrecy, with members often occupying high-ranking positions in law, politics, and education. Critics argue its influence shapes policies, particularly on moral and social issues, though its members maintain it promotes spiritual growth. Number 4, the Bohemian Club. Established in 1872, the Bohemian Club is a private men's society based in California's redwood forests. Its annual retreat, known as Bohemian Grove, attracts influential politicians, business leaders, and media moguls. Famous attendees include Ronald Reagan and Richard Nixon. The cremation of care ceremony and exclusive discussions have fueled theories about its role in shaping policies far from public scrutiny. Number 3, Freemasons. The Freemasons, with roots dating back to the 16th century, are one of the oldest and most influential secret societies in the U.S. Many founding fathers, including George Washington, were members. Their symbols, like the Eye of Providence, are embedded in American culture, and their principles of liberty and equality helped shape the nation's founding ideals. Number 2, Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones, founded in 1832 at Yale University, is a breeding ground for America's elite. Its members include Presidents George H.W. Bush and George W. Bush, as well as Secretary of State John Kerry. The society is renowned for its mysterious rituals and the lifelong loyalty of its members, who often go on to occupy key roles in politics, finance, and global affairs. Number 1, the Bilderberg Group. Founded in 1954, the Bilderberg Group hosts annual meetings attended by world leaders, financiers, and academics. Known for its strict confidentiality, the group is often accused of coordinating global policies. While proponents argue it fosters open dialogue on major issues, critics see it as a hub for shaping economic and geopolitical strategies behind closed doors.
Skull and Bones, its members rise to the very pinnacles of power, like George Walker Bush, for example. When Bush contested the presidency with Democrat John Kerry, it was a battle between two bonesmen.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us?
Not much, because it's a secret.
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about
it. Now that you've made it into this secret society, it's time for your first Bohemian Grove. And just like every year, it begins with a strange ritual called the cremation of care, a dark tradition meant to let you go of all your worries and responsibilities. As you're standing there in the middle of the forest, surrounded by millionaires, billionaires, and future presidents, all with the same tense faces, you feel that something strange is about to happen. Suddenly, you see a few men in red robes and red hoods marching forward. Some of them are playing sad music, others are carrying long torches. But they're carrying something else, an open coffin. You take a step closer and risk a look inside. Is that a human body? Is this some kind of satanic ritual? But then you look more closely and see that it's just a human effigy, a model of a person. Or maybe it is a real person, who knows? They call it the body of care, and it represents all the worries and woes that the powerful elite is carrying on their shoulders every single day. But now, it's time to burn all those worries away for good, or at least for a few days. The men slowly keep marching forward to the altar where Mr. Care is about to get sacrificed, under the watchful eye of a giant owl. Yes, you heard that right. The most powerful men in the country, wrapped in red robes, are about to burn a human effigy in front of a giant owl. After the choir finishes their song, the high priest announces that the pyre is waiting for the body of Care. A pyre is a heap of stuff that is to be lit on fire. The men carry the coffin to the pyre in front of the owl, and it seems like Mr. Care is about to meet his maker. But then Mr. Care makes it clear that he's not going to go down without a fight. After some intense back and forth, the priest has heard enough. He grabs a torch and lights the body of Care on fire. As the flames leap higher and higher, all the worries of the powerful elite melt away. Is the Bohemian Grove just a summer camp for powerful men who want to let go of their worries for a moment? Or do they actually use it to craft secret plans to rule over society far away from the public eye? Most likely both. After all, with so many powerful men coming together in a secluded forest, secured by ex-military men, it's hard not to discuss secret plans. Like the CIA's MK-Ultra program, for example. During the Cold War, the CIA believed the Soviets had found a way to turn everyday people into emotionless puppets that would do anything they told them to, including killing others without any sense of remorse. But instead of being horrified by the idea, the CIA was intrigued. So they started their own little side project called MK-Ultra. The scientists behind MK-Ultra would test all sorts of drugs and torture techniques on as many people as they could. One of their objectives was to turn their victims into a so-called Manchurian candidate, a programmed killer who would kill on command and forget about it a moment later. It's one of the darkest chapters in CIA history.
Statue called the Statue of Liberty. It's holding the torch of illumination, which is the Promethean torch of Freemasonry. And if you go to the Statue of Liberty, you'll see a bronze plaque inside saying that this was given to the government of America by the French Grand Orient Temple Masons. And it is a symbol of Grand Orient Freemasonry in America, the holder of the light. And that's exactly the same torch that is carried during the Olympics. It is the torch of Prometheus. It's not the torch of freedom. No, it's not the torch of freedom. Of the illumination. I wanted to add also that on the back of the Liberty dime, on the back of the old dime in America, there was the fasci, which you look in the encyclopedia or dictionary, you look up the word fascism, you'll see that the symbol for world fascism was a bundle of sticks, a bundle of rods with a hatchet head. That was on the back of the
Well, you see that on each side of the speaker's podium at Congress.
Oh, absolutely.
So they have the fasci on each side.
Absolutely, and it's also the symbol for the United States Senate is the fasci. But the point I want to make is that that was on the old dime. Now on the new dimes, you will see it has been transplanted a torch instead of the old fasci, because fascism was used at one time to prepare the world for the New World Order. Now the New World Order is in place. That's why on the dollar bill it says Novus Ordo Seclorum is New Order.
Trump is just a distraction. The system is falling apart. People are waking up and the elite know it. So what do? They give you false hope. They send you a savior so you stay stuck, waiting for someone else to fix it. But I'm not voting for anyone. I see it for what it is, a game, a distraction, a cover for the real plan happening behind the scenes. Meanwhile, you keep working, keep obeying, keep feeding their system, but no one is coming to save you. You are the creator of your own reality. They fear the day we realize our power. That day is coming. Stay sharp.
My Lord and Savior's coming. I don't know about you.
This is the Alliance.
What if I told you there's a secret society from the 1800s that still baffles historians today? Founded in 1854 by George W.L. Bickley, the Knights of the Golden Circle had one goal: expand the southern United States into a vast slave empire. But they weren't just talk. These guys had secret meetings, hidden codes, and even buried treasure. Imagine a group so secretive that their very existence was often questioned. They plotted to seize Mexico, Central America, and the Caribbean, creating a golden circle of slave states. Wild, right? During the Civil War, their influence spread with rumors of sabotage and covert operations against the Union. Some say they even had ties to infamous figures like John Wilkes Booth. But after the war, the Knights faded into the shadows. Their treasure, if it ever existed, remains one of America's greatest mysteries. Are you as fascinated as I am? Hit that like button and subscribe.
You know that the Secret Society of Freemasons have members in the highest ranks of the federal government? Stick around. We're going to talk about this. This is the United States Capitol building. Inside that building, they have the House of Representatives and the United States Senate. 2 U.S. senators are actually also Freemasons. United States Senator Chuck Grassley from Iowa, he's a spry 90 years old and is a 33rd degree Freemason, according to the Grand Lodge of Iowa. Then there's this guy, John Tester. He's a United States Senator from the state of Montana. And according to the Grand Lodge of the state of Montana, he is a proud Freemason. So it's been said that the strength of Freemasonry is its loyalty to each other. So let me ask you this question. If a public servant takes an oath to serve and protect the people of their state, their country, and then also takes an oath to a brotherhood to basically obey that Grand Lodge, to keep their secrets, and to protect each other, then how does that not conflict with their oath of office? Now, I'm not saying either one of these guys did or ever has done anything to conflict with that oath of office that they took. But in this age where we're so divided, do you really think that we need public officials segregating themselves into even further or pigeonholes? So more or less, we already don't trust our government as it is. We believe that the government is corrupt. Some of us do. At least I believe that it's kind of corrupt. And basically, those men and women in the House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate, they hold a lot of power. And, we know that there's transparency issues in the government. This is pretty clear with what we've seen, even with our unidentified flying object stuff, right? They don't even know about that. So, there's silos in the government. So why would any public official want to put themselves in a even more of a silo and to take away from even more transparency?
Bone, the secret society. It's so secret we can't talk about it. What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go wild. Sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the rest. Number 322. First of all, he's not the nominee, and but look, I look for. Are you prepared to lose? No, I'm not going to lose.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us? Not much, because it's a secret. Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code? I wish there were something secret I could manifest. 322, secret number? There are all kinds of secrets, Tim, but one thing is not a secret. I disagree with this president's direction that he's taking the country. We can do a better job, and I intend to do it.
Did he talk too much? Societies meet. The rituals are still a secret. And so when we heard that some enterprising characters had managed to spy on the famous Skull and Bones Society, we couldn't resist.
The videotape provides a grainy glimpse into what appear to be the initiation rituals of a secret society that's been around since 1832, whose members have gone on to be leaders of Wall Street and the White House, the Senate and the Supreme Court.
They're sort of trying to scare the initiates, disorient them, frighten them.
New York Observer investigative reporter Ron Rosenbaum accompanied a team of Yale students who got these pictures 9 days ago. Rosenbaum's curiosity about Skull and Bones was permanently peaked when, as a classmate of George W. Bush, he lived right next to the Tomb, the group's heavily fortified home. From their perch, Rosenbaum and his cohorts taped the Tomb's courtyard. What they captured, they say, was initiates, known as neophytes, to kiss a skull, then members performing a mock.
Well, those are the videos I had for you today. My take on them is secret societies, the occult, Satanism, Hollywood, celebrities, elites. It's all the same thing. They're all doing Satan's work. They're trying to make it so we stay here so they have somebody to rule forever in hell with the devil, and so that we don't make it to heaven. It's been happening since the beginning of time with these occults and these secret societies that think they're better than us or know more than us. We'll see how much they know when we're in heaven, living a beautiful, peaceful existence forever, and they're burning in hell or in the lake of fire or what have you. We've been given this illusion of freedom our entire lives, because if you knew you were a prisoner, you might fight back. So the best way to fight back is to open your mind, open your eyes, have faith in God, have a relationship with Jesus, and know that He is returning. And when He does, these people are in trouble. Well, thank you for watching. Please hit that like button, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you on the next one.